Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Italian Tier 8 medium tank, the P.44 Pantera. Now the Pantera is the first auto-reloading medium in the Italian medium tank branch. It's the first one that actually gets the auto-reloader when you're playing through the line, because the ones before it, the P.43 Pantera and Bis, are just standard medium tanks. This is basically them, but a bit fatter, and has the auto-reloader. And it has two different options, actually, that you wouldn't think of, right? You get the fully upgraded version with the top turret, top turret and top gun, which gives you this 3-shot auto reloader. And the DPM's meh. It's sort of not as good as a lot of the other 240 Alpha tanks, but it's still quite nice to have that ability to fire either single shot or just dump your clip. I think the Pantera is one of those tanks that I just think is alright. It's not too bad. It is a little bit eclipsed by its premium brethren, because the Progetto 46 is a fantastic tank and just does exactly what this tank does, but a little better, because it's got a slightly better camo, better mobility, all that sort of good stuff. But it's still a pretty damn good, well, pretty damn fun tank, to be honest. And yeah, it's got two options. So you've got this one, where you can have it, like I say, fully upgraded, and then there's one that a lot of people don't realise, is that you can actually have the stock turret with the top gun, and you actually get a double tap. So it goes from a 3-shot autoloader to a 2-shot autoloader. And it actually has way better reload, because its reload is the one, well, it's for some reason, on that stock turret and top gun, it's got the same reload that it does on PC in that format. So it's just, its DPM is way better. So it's like, the best reload you can get on this one is 10.6 seconds base, whereas if you put the stock turret on, your reload is 9 seconds base. So it's an extra nearly 2 seconds off the reload just to have that double tap. And the double tap is also nice for that flexibility of just going bang, bang, and you can, you know, reload really quickly and get just double tap kills and stuff like that. Also, the intra-clip's only 2 seconds on the stock turret as opposed to the top turret where the intra-clip's 2.5. But naturally that comes with some downsides. When you have the stock turret, you have 5 degrees of gun depression instead of 8, which is a bit of a problem, because when you work in positions like you're seeing here with the top turret, I couldn't work this with the stock turret. It makes it really awkward for a lot of situations like that, and a lot of people would get really frustrated with it, and it's probably best just to be fully upgraded and just go with it, right? But it's always nice to know there's options out there if the reload really does frustrate you. And I think it's also a little bit derpier in terms of its gun handling, because I think when it's fully upgraded, it's got 0.33 base, but with the stock turret it's like 0.35 or something like that. So yeah, the gun handling just gets a little bit worse as well. But you know, it depends if you like the trade-off of having that DPM for the worst gun handling and worst gun depression or not. It's totally down to you, realistically. So, what do I run in terms of a crew on the Pantera? Well, I tend to run it similar to the Progetto 46. I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Camouflage Expertise, Muffled Shot, Steady Aim, Snapshot, and Run and Gun. All the gun perks make the gun as good as possible, because, well, 0.33 is actually pretty good, to be fair. You might not want to run something like a Snapshot and run something else like Silent Driving, maybe. But I just like to make sure that the gun is as good as it humanly can be, because with the soft stats it can be a little bit derpy at times when you're going from on the move, and a little bit bad at snapshotting, which a lot of tanks are good at these days. And then in terms of equipment, I run rammer, vert stabs, and optics. Again, optics to make my view range as good as possible. Vert stabs to make the gun handling as good as possible, because like I say, it can be a bit bad when it's moving. And I kind of just want, well, you see with the playstyle I actually have with the tank, I do keep moving a lot, so I want to be able to fire and make sure that I'm making the most of my shots. And then rammer to make my DPM as good as possible. I run the camo perks, by the way, because this tank, while it doesn't have the best camo, it can still get a decent setup. And as a medium tank, it's always nice to have that sort of camo, right? And yeah, that's why I run it. But I mean, if you really felt the gun handling was fine, you could drop the vert stabs and put camo net on. I think you're more likely to run the camo net with the fully upgraded tank than you are with the stock turret, because of the gun handling issues. But yeah, in this game on this map, which is Duckler Pass, we've managed to get 2.7k damage with the 1800 assistance so far. And we just got to have a very hairy situation where that Jagdtiger 88 just decided it was me that had to go. And then the UDES 1405 also came in. We managed to get rid of the Jagdtiger and the UDES, and we're up to 2.9k damage with 4 kills. They've got 2 guys in the cap, and rather than go for the 2 guys that were at F8, 9, you just have to go to the cap, because otherwise they're going to cap out. There's only 40 seconds left. I don't have the most hit points in the universe, but I can get in there to reset it. And unfortunately, we bounced the first shot off that T150, but we have to get the reset in. And I'm thinking, do I kill the T150? It's like, nah, I'll wait for the poodle. Actually, I'm just going to make sure I shut down that. Oh, we get the high roll as well. And I was like, okay, we've got that reload in. We only need 2 shots to kill this poodle. In fact, we don't even need 2 shots anymore. So now we've got the shells. We're just going to drive around and confirm the top gun. Just like that. There's 3 guys left in the enemy team, and they're all along the 8 line. We know exactly where we are. We've got the top gun, the 6 kills, and 3.5k damage so far. We want more, so we're going to go chasing after these 2 little tier 6s, and that's all that's left. It's 2 little tier 6s. And they're assaulting what I think is a tier 8, so that's not probably going to go very well for them. But, you know, you live in hope. You never know, you might get there. I mean, the mobility of the tank isn't too bad, as you've seen. We're going at 55 kilometers an hour. And actually, that Skoda T25 killed the Dragon, which is kind of handy. And we might actually get there to get a kill here. Who knows? But as you see, like, the mobility is pretty damn nice. You can get every... I mean, that's the other thing as well, actually, to be fair. If you don't want to run a camo net or vert stabs, you think the gun is going to put as good as it can be, you could run the traction system to just get that extra top speed too, if you wanted to. Because, I mean, it's got a 60 kilometers an hour top speed. You could run the traction system, get 66 kilometers an hour. It's up to you. We finished the game with 6 kills, 3.5k damage, the 1800 assistance, ace tanker, top gun, sniper medal, and 1928 base XP. A really nice game for the Pantera. It was a pretty good matchup for it while it's fully upgraded. Like I said, the 3-shot is really nice because you do have that clip potential, which is decent, right? And then, while the reload, like I say, isn't absolutely terrible, it's not the best, and you can still make the most of it, and the gun handling and the gun depression makes it great. So in this second replay, you are seeing the Pantera with the stock turret, and as you see, we've got a 6.6 second base, well, 6 seconds, I'll start again, a 6.6 second reload while fully pimped out, having all the stuff we can to make it better, which is better than the one we had in the stock turret, well, top turret, sorry, as you saw, which only had a 7.7 second reload. So 1.1 seconds better reload, fully upgraded, well, with the stock turret, sorry, with this double tap. So you are firing a hell of a lot quicker. The intra-clip between the 2 shots is quicker, so when you're getting those shots out, you get them out faster. And realistically, actually, the reload of the second shell at 9 seconds is actually, with, you know, cruise skills and all that sort of stuff, faster than the top shell of the other one, which is mental. So the DPM is far better on this tank with this double tap, and it's really, really handy to use. And you're going to see it in this situation we're here on Westfield. We've pushed K0, because that's a good thing to do from the spawn that we got, because we don't really have very good control of that middle area at G7, 8, 9. So if you're in fast mediums or light tanks, this area at K0 is such a strong place to be. So we are in a tier 10 game, and this 50B comes along. It's like, oh god, oh thank god he's gone, like that. And this chisel is going to be our armor, because he's hull down, which means he's got all the armor. The Pantera doesn't have any. It has those sorts of armor, that sort of armor, again, that has angles, so it can bounce stuff, but don't try and rely on it. So this chisel is our man. He's going to soak the pressure up while we're supporting him, because naturally when you're a bottom tier tank, that's what you want to be doing. You want to be supporting. And we've got an AVRE that's joined us, so naturally he's just going to delete everything if he hits them. And that's where we're just going to use the double tap. We had the opportunity to shut down the list, like we did when the 50B came in. We just had the ability to get rid of him and get him gone. And we're just waiting for that reload, and we get to shut down the Astron Rex. Like I say, you see him with this, even dry, our reload is 8 seconds. It's only 0.3 seconds slower than waiting for the best shell on the top tank, or on the top turret, I should say, having the 3-shot auto-reloader. The DPM on this gun is so much better. It helps you do so much more damage in so many more situations when you're in those sorts of brawly areas, as opposed to having the top turret. The problem is, now we're on Westfield, I kind of want some gun depression, and it makes it a little bit awkward to use some of these situations that we're in here. Look, if I had the top turret, I might have been able to get my gun down to shoot that Bisonte, but I couldn't, because I only have 5 degrees of gun depression, and that's where it starts to become bloody awkward. So, downsides, it's checks and balances, etc., etc., right? It's the it's just the trade-offs that you get. So we're on to 2.1k damage with 3k assistance. As you see, K0, I love it. When you get K0 and you start spotting all these people that are sitting along the 0 line, that a lot of people go to the 0 line on this map, you can get a hell of a lot of spotting if your team's in the right space and situation to get you those shots. And you can always milk a hell of a lot of assistance. Westfield is one of those maps that is so good for getting assistance no matter the spawn. You've just got to go to the right spots. And yeah, we're on 4 kills with 2.1k damage, 3.4k assistance. We're just trying to angle to see if we can get some more shots at people. We've got some shots at the back end of this mill, so we're just going to drop those 2 shots into the back of him. Like I said, I'm not too bothered about wasting my reload because it's not that bad with the double tap. It's really good. You just have to know that you got the trade-offs of the worst gun handling and the gun depression. And we're finished with the epic victory. The 4 kills, 2.5k damage, 3.5k assistance, ace tanker, 1831 base XP. Really nice game for the Pantera in a tier 10 game with that double tap gun with the stock turret. You have to put the stock turret and the top gun on to get that. And I prefer it for the DPM, but at the same time it does have limitations that are annoying, so you might always find that the fully upgraded tank is better. But as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!